As we working with the static into our sleep patterns at the end of the night when we retire from the bed, to the bed, after a long journey through the day. Lucid dreaming here on Earth, daydreaming, and the Earth spinning around the majestic sun. As heaven suggests, is that what you will find is that the more you slip into the state of consciousness, meditations, or altered state of consciousness through psychedelic, you'll be able to identify how you could slip into that state data. And it is the getaway into the learning, into the memories and intuitive intuitions, the hunches, the senses of the sensory perceptions as we feel that, as we see the externalize what we see, perceive. What we see is what we perceive. And the world, and it's the mental focus, the focus point in our signal that originated from, which I think is from the within of ourselves, where we do what we do in the national, in the performance, in the act, in the affirmations, the self-talk, the suggestions of that subconscious mind from the conscious mind, from developing the ability to slip into our heart mind coherence. And throughout the day they impress the subconscious mind with the conscious awareness, with the suggestion to be able to see the pinpoint, the one pointedness when we focus within the pineal glands and the breath. That's the modality to get into the state of the wave, state of the mind, and impress. When we set ourselves, give the impressions that impress, that embedded in the subconscious mind. And once it's getting engraved into it, it's spring the alpha state of consciousness, the voices that we hear in our thoughts that are related to the visions that flow into the reality, that wait. We patiently wait for it until it's sprung, blossoming, come to fruition, association with the being of our present time when the future is yet to come. But we make what most importantly is here in the present time, that we flow easy, it's a little breezy, and it's not that easy because I'm not orderly identified with the next date, the next month, the next year, what it would be. In discussions of the time-space reality in this video that we're watching here, and in the state of the attentions, and sometimes in the beta, but we got to go up to the gamma, but we like to be in the alpha, and sometimes we slip into the theta, but we got to raise ourselves up. And the cognitive task is to be able to identify outside and the inside. And when we see the starting point, what we lose is hopefully it's not ourselves. It's a connection between here in the Seattle, in the Northwest Puget Sound Center, and the East Side, Bellevue, and Redmond. The challenging to get into the flow and maintain the flow. That is why we would like to be out and just enjoy ourselves, be with ourselves, and be with the beautiful spirit as well too. Suggestion that we flow in time, in the space, with a different level of our awareness, and to differentiate the low state of consciousness and be elevate. So when we get the lightheartedness is really that the key to be able to install our being here, to be able to live and walk in among all the human species, and knowing that we have the same interests, even in friend in state of Kansas, and also everywhere in this world, all the way to the Southeast Asia, and hopefully we can elevate it and be more the combination of the veganism as well too, right? To understand that we live to enjoy life with peace of mind and love of heart, and we eat to live, not too much of indulgent. That is undisciplined mind, that assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that we can't work on it. And so we can imagine that the state of here, Seattle, Washington, all the way up to New York, California, and worldwide as well too, that the life of all, including the animals, is something that is very precious as well too. When you love your dog, right? Other animals also too. I know this is a little bit what the imagination that we can see now in the world that show us about animals. Come on, have some empathy, have some sympathy, have some compassion, have altruism, loving kindness towards all sentient beings, peace of mind and love of heart, right? Peace, love. No matter what you see, like this side of here, this is heart. This is a heart. Flip it over, it's still heart. It is exciting, the drama, the dharma, and himself, herself, constructed, or whatever it is that we see. And we've been reconstruct, recalibrate, implies by the fulfillment of the things that inwardly act and overly and over again. Then we try to take that out because it's not serving us. So what is good, keep. What is not, discard. Imagine that we can feel it within the dialogue or vocalizations, right? And when we hear the auditory, we turn on what's good, assuming what is best. And when it's done, the day's done, before we go retire at night, make sure it's good, affirm to be done, and in the state of consciousness. So when inadvertently, the feel of natural here in the park, here in the state of consciousness, here in the state of Washington, we do some rehearsal behind the curtain. We will rise and we will see it before you even know it, into the dharma, in our drama, in the screen, on the projection of our mind space, and we will see moving on the screen eventually, because we have the characteristic, the animations necessary to complete the play. Now, does it sound very majestic? It is mystical. It is mystical and powerful before you even see the beautiful things that are about to arise. Actually, always doing this all the time. The question is, what are we assuming? What we are interrupting? No, we're not. We try to interpret things, not trying to interrupt when you speak. We're trying to let you know what's up. We're trying to know about elevating the interpretations of the revelation into the relations of fear and lack, and we can identify that it's not a good interpretation. That's something that we want to discard, as we mentioned earlier, right? So what's key is to maintain the recommended identifying that ourself to be limitless, not limiting, and interpretation of the abundance, believing that we have within ourselves to change within the challenges, instead of doing and just going to sleep. And having the conversation with ourselves and with somebody is what elevates us, is what motivates us, is what inspires us. It's a realization within ourselves as well too, as we get to see things more clearly as we walk back and forth. And the conversation that is not necessarily formal conversation, we need to be able to formulate the conversation. That's something is good that we plan to have, to make, to create with friends, relative, families, whoever want to participate. It's something that we already know. We believe that we can recalibrate, and when we share this belief and it is resonate with you, and you can relate into being, to identify as this belief changes, we are able to maintain it. And the feeling of the wish fulfilled, that is the fate, that is the fate we have within ourselves. Notice it no less. So identify the fear, but we care. It's not like we can't feel the fear. We know this fear, but we do it anyway. We bring about the time that we are able to reach the next level, the coding, which have been bringing up in the last phases of our life, which is why the video that currently one of my favorite one was the one that is the physical within that canyon. That's one of the best ones as well, to produce a psychological state of our psychology and psyche, and state of producing this physical fact of the silver line, and working with different ethnicity, from Himalaya, from Russia, from Asia, from Africa, from America. Now we are here in close to Canada. I remember I used to drive Honda, but in Khmer we would like to drive a Honda because we want some snai ha. So because we don't want song sa, ma be bon panya, oh ja, you know what I'm saying? That's what we mean, and we trying to integrate and make peace with this interpretation in relation to fear, and as a result you will find yourself in the high degree of this fulfillment, concluding with the affirmations that we are the best. Here's the best. What's the best way it would be, baby? We can realize that every day we place ourselves, place myself, place yourself, the circumstances of the symphony, of the environment, of the one love elevated the face, and the elevations of the evolutions of the equality, realizing that we are imagining, assuming the best fulfilled, the best is to be fulfilled, because believe in to be true. Furthermore, elevate ourselves, elevate it as well too, recognizing that the cave that we were in, carnivore, we gotta emerge out to be more of our openness into the plant-based reality. Plant-based, red pill, swallow that is a revelation and inspiration, is guiding me to where I desire to be, and realize that all this is in harmony with the Mother Nature, Earth, equilibrium, balance, right? That's a tranquility when samadhi, meditations, contribution with the visions, and the result is elevating ourselves higher consciousness to the degree in faith, and maintain the faith, and have a journey realizing that our visions, you can see, is found in each and every video that is helpful, that is could be the mind, heart, spirit. That's a map, that could be the map, the blueprints to lay out, to expand the consciousness with peace of mind and love of heart. Thank you for viewing.